Root beer is about leave me alone. Let me do my thing.
You're right. It's not a Pepsi. It's not a cola. It's a root beer. It's a whole. You're right.
It's not for everybody. It never was. It never was. But it's for those of us who it's for. We know who we are.
Fannin? Cut to.
Exterior. Interior.
Restaurant?
Bar. Club.
Day.
Night.
Action! Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Restaurant Fiction. We are the podcast, the show, the media program that reviews fictional restaurants, bars, and clubs in TV and film. My name is Monis Rose. Now, this is our 100 plus something or another episode. We have over 100 behind us, which we are incredibly proud of, and we are honored. This incredible one, though, this will be our last for the time being. That's right. So, Restaurant Fiction, we will be going on a creative hibernation that, our mastermind, our brain trust is going to think of how we can rejuvenate, refresh, and change what this is. We are very, very proud of all of the conversations we've had and how this changed, even from, hey, I started a long time ago just recording in my closet, and I made fictitious fan fiction stories of dining at the fictional restaurants, bars, and clubs in film. So to change that to the incredible, impactful conversations we have had with some luminaries of Hollywood still amazes me, and I pinch myself. I pinch myself with all of the previous guests. I especially pinch myself for today's guests. Who did we bring by for pretty much our last episode of the current format, of this current iteration of Restaurant Fiction, our last episode? We've brought back, his name is Kip Konwiser. Number one, why did we bring Kip back? Why is Kip here? Well, many reasons. Number one is, listen to his first episode. That's right. He was on Restaurant Fiction when we first got started. His episode is a two-parter. Very easy to edit. There was nothing to edit because it was that good. It's two-parter. You're going to learn how fucking amazing this man is and how positive energy always follows him wherever he goes. That even when life throws the slings and arrows at this man, he still transforms all of them into lemonade. That didn't make sense. Nothing ever does, but you get what I'm saying. So that we brought him back because, a lot of people that I hear, and even in the magazines and articles, people say no one is selling, no one is producing, no one is making stuff, money is nowhere. And when we talk to Kip is the exact opposite. He is like, Monis, I just signed a whole new 3-picture deal. Monis, I found money here. I found money here. Monis, I'm making this film. I'm making this film. I'm making this film. I'm casting this. I'm casting that. I mean, he is constantly moving and shaking and moving forward. He accepts the change and he flies, man. He surfs every single wave he is on. And it's awesome. And to be around abundance like that, even if we're not in his inner circle, we are far from it, but just even in this conversation, we felt that positive energy, and we hope you do too. Not in a preachy way, no, just by, hey, here's a man that creates his own. He greenlights himself, and he gives himself permission, and that's all you need, man. That's all you need with any endeavor, especially in Hollywood, especially in the entertainment business. Oh, also, he's talking about The Last Rodeo. It is one of his films, one of his many films that he's produced. It came out this summer. It's awesome. It's by the director, I believe, of the Fried Green Tomatoes movie. Yeah. which is a great director. Anyway, please see that. So yeah. So really quick, before we even start though this episode, little quick story. And I don't know if this made the final cut. I'll find out, but then you're going to hear the story twice, or at least from Kip's point of view. When we chatted in the morning of this day, of this recording day, I surfed Topanga, and I was waiting way inside, way inside, not on the point, but I was watching the lineup, and I was watching one particular surfer, and he was catching them, He was good. Then suddenly there was no waves over there at the point, but there was a wave where I was way inside, and it was coming for me. But then I saw this surfer, and he was paddling back out. He gets right in front of me, cuts me off, turns, and hops on the wave. And I was in a piss poor mood after that. Surfing is supposed to be like, yo, man, it's just, we're out here, we're having fun, it's with nature, man. And I was like, hey, bro, you cut me off. That was my wave. I got a little egotistical. Anyway, I brought this story to Kip. And Kip says to me, well, Monis, you probably were never going to catch that wave because this guy was much better surfer than you were. And also, you could learn from him. So why didn't you, instead of having the negative attitude, why didn't you just watch him, watch what he did, watch his place in the wave? Was he at the peak? Was he in the shoulder? Where in the wave was his positioning? When did he start paddling? When did he pop up? There were all of the technicalities I could have learned from. Instead, I had the piss poor attitude of, oh man, he cut me off. So yeah, just by venting with Kip providing his wisdom, he brought that awesome energy, and it changed my POV, just like he changes my POV of the business, and hopefully he'll change yours too. So anyway, this is our conversation with Kip Konwiser. Enjoy. All right, so Kip, boys, girls, men, women, aliens, dinosaurs, wherever. Okay, so we are going to do not only one fictional review, we are doing two fictional reviews. We are actually going to be doing a saloon from 1908 that really does not have a name, because guess what? Like back in the West, saloons really didn't have a name. It was just called a saloon. But I'm not just talking about your Lonesome Dove saloon where you have your bartender and you have your whore upstairs and you just want to gamble, and drink some whiskey. No, I'm
Sounds
talking
fun.
about,
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun. Or would you rather walk in and you walk into a saloon that's like a second line from New Orleans, that there's dancing, and it's actually a really nice place. And obviously you still have your upstairs if you want to mingle and whatnot. But it is the saloon. So, I'm just saying that it is a nice representation. Also, this is much also different because the audience, not just the audience, the fans, the customer, if you will, it's primarily black. It's black. It's Native American. You have a diverse culture. And you know what? For restaurant fiction, if a saloon is going to be like a second line like this saloon, well, we would much rather go there. Now, obviously that review was a historic review from 1908, which was featured in Kip's film Outlaw Posse. But we also we previewed, another place, a root beer little stop, where it's in Oklahoma, and let's just say this. We love all sports, okay? We love all sports, extreme sports. We love the NFL, but we also love bull riding. We love bull riding. We love bullfighting. That's just us. Judge us if you want, but that's who we are. And you know what? After all of the bar fights and all of the bull fights and all of the bull riding, the rodeo clowns and that life, sometimes We just need a good old root beer.
You do.
So that little quick review was in a way,
well done.
guys, it was a premature review, but it was an okay review, but it's from what we know about Kip's newest movie, The Last Rodeo, which obviously Kip will go in detail. So Kip, for us, we're going to be frank with all of you. We have not seen it yet, but for us, teasing how accurate were we with The Last Rodeo, the root beer scene?
You're right on. Let's start with Last Rodeo, and we'll go to
we'll go
Posse
to
second.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Last Rodeo is a fantastic film directed by one of America's great directors of the last several decades, a gentleman named John Avnet, who you may know from a movie called Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, based on the book by Fannie Flagg. That movie goes back a couple of decades, but it is the quintessential movie for this type of a discussion. It's about fried green tomatoes at a place that brings a whole community together. Now jump to the present and The Last Rodeo and John Avnet today, telling a movie set in the world of rodeo, a world of professional bull riding, with our partners, the PBR, that tells the story of a father and a daughter who are looking to reconcile. They've had a disparaged relationship, a lot of disenfranchisement within the family. Mom died prematurely of cancer. Now this young daughter's son is diagnosed with cancer as well. And what pulls the family together is the courage of the lead actor, played by Neil McDonough, to get back onto a bull in his late 50s and compete for $1 million prize. That event of bull riding brings with it the culture of the middle of America, and the importance of food, the importance of a family meal, the importance of connecting over generations with the consistency of what we eat within this family. And root beer plays a huge character role in this movie. The young boy who's 10 years old idolizes his grandfather, who's a big hero. He's a top-ranked PBR guy in retirement. And they share root beer at a bar where the bartender comes up and treats the young man like he's an adult. Can I get you all another? No, I'm driving. It's really cute. And as an audience watching this, your heart melts for the relationship that's possible between a grandfather and a grandson when the grandfather feels remiss about not being entirely present as a father. And the root beer is what he shared with his daughter, and that relationship didn't work. And the grandson has taken that root beer off the table of the mom and put it in his own hand so that he can have that relationship. So in this movie, you'll find that food, root beer, barbecue is literally the device that generations use in order to pull down the veneer, pull back from the things that are stopping their communication, and open the door of dialogue. Much like you saw in John's movie, Fried Green Tomatoes, and you've seen in many of his movies. He did Mighty Ducks and Risky Business. And you see this device of the familiarity of food, making an audience watching the film feel the vulnerability that the characters are feeling without any pretense at all. And so Last Rodeo does this masterfully. And ultimately, the relationship plays out where Joe is able to make the ride. The young boy is able to continue to live. And it ends literally with them giving themselves the toast.
So a few things from that. In a way, the root beer is the love language. It's the ultimate love language.
That's exactly right. It is. And when it's awkward to say I love you, you can always toast a root beer, and we both know what we're saying here.
And here we go. Why root beer versus a Coke versus a glass of milk? Versus a glass of water. Yeah.
Well, personally, I love that it's root beer. I'm a root beer guy. And I think that there are in society, there are cola people, and then there are root beer people who really, we're different. We're not into cola. And this is a movie where these are characters. These are root beer people. These are people who have lived their own lives. We live in the middle of America. Frankly, we want to be left alone. We want to do our own thing. We find this in the social politic of this country right now that turns into acrimony too quickly. But all that area of the country is asking for is leave me alone. Let me just do my thing. Root beer is about that. Root beer is about leave me alone. Let me do my thing.
You're right. It's not a Pepsi. It's not a cola. It's a root beer. It's a whole. You're right.
It's not for everybody. It never was. It never was. But it's for those of us who it's for. We know who we are. As well, it's also cute when a bartender can come over and say, "Can I get you another root beer?" It's got the word beer in it. And so as a young boy, if you're drinking anything with an older person and it's got the word beer in it, it makes you feel more mature. And we as adults watch that and it's cute. It's fun. It's fun to see that young boy sit up straight. Like, yeah, I'll have another one. I'm not driving.
I love that. You know, my mom loves root beer, loves root beer floats. You know, I was really raised on A&W and IBC and dads, you know, I mean, but I will say just in my own life in realistic, my grandpa, my Zadie, before he was, you know, he passed, you know, he wasn't eating. He wasn't, he was in hospice and he wasn't eating. My mom was trying to buy him all this delicious food, not having it. He was like throwing it, nurses. And then I made him a milkshake. I don't remember what I put in it, but I'm thinking to myself like, hey, if he's not eating this milkshake, I'm going to make this the best fucking milkshake I ever had in my life because I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to drink this milkshake. Yeah. And I made something delicious and I handed it to him and everyone just was shocked because he drank it all up. Yeah. And it was the most beautiful memory I have of him because we shared that was the love language, that the milkshake, the root beer. I mean, honestly, in a way, going back to the Last Rodeo, that's why we even do restaurant fiction, because the root beer scene, no disrespect to the awesome rodeo scenes and the bar fight scenes, but it ties the whole movie together.
It's the emotional language. It's the love language. That's a really great way to put it. Food is a love language, period.
What's your root beer of choice?
You hit the great ones there. A&W is awesome because the food was, I'm sorry, A&W, the food was not good, but the experience of going to A&W and getting, like, we used to do it in a station wagon. I mean, like, look, I earned my gray hair. I am as old as that seems. A&W, the thrill of A&W and why that sticks out to me as my favorite root beer is I equate it, food is the love language. For me as a little boy, I mean, 4 or 5 years old, my parents would drive our station wagon with fake wood paneling to the A&W drive-in, and someone would roller skate out and put a tray on the window, and it was just such a different way to have food. You know, we got to stay in the car. You could eat whatever you wanted because it was off of the menu that was there at the drive-in. So I associate my favorite root beer with A&W because it reminds me of like those days. But Mug, Dad's, these were the root beers that had guts. They had like texture. They put extra caramel crap or whatever it was in there. So when you had a root beer, it was the stout of root beers. You weren't having a light beer. You're having stout root beer with those. So I love that.
So tomorrow, you wake up. Obviously, let's put the Last Rodeo aside for a second. And you wake up tomorrow, and once again, all the abundance happens. Everything aligns. The distribution front, the money front, the casting front, everything aligns for you, but there's only one thing that all these other voices are saying, Kip, we want a movie about your dream fictional bar.
Yeah, I got you. I've been a tap dancer since I was about 5 years old. And for whatever reason, my brother and I have made a predominant amount of African-American Black community content. I've produced a lot of music. I worked for the Grateful Dead for years and produced world music for Mickey Hart, Bob Marley. Herbie Hancock was our partner for years. So to me, the ideal bar is where people don't sit. People are moving, where the music is so intoxicating to the pulse of your heart that even if you swore you have no rhythm, you are the boogie in his motherfucker on the floor. That to me is where it happens. Because to me, community is about vulnerability and being free with yourself and not putting on the mask anymore, not wearing the armor and being the brave soldier, but actually being butt naked and moving in front of other people awkwardly is to me the dream community, because I don't think there's any more honest place really on the planet than when people drop their pretension and communicate largely through vibratory, universe, and I've always thought this. We live in a vibratory universe. You talk, I listen. You're like nodding. I'm thinking there's a rhythm here. You're listening. You're going to respond. You're going to go out and do something. This is the world we're in. It's not the Big Bang. It was the Big Beat. And since that first explosion, everything has been humming in a rhythm. So to me, the ultimate bar is where everyone syncopates to that rhythm, and we all know it, and nobody's a fool because we're all in sync.
Perfect. You mentioned working with your brother. How did you find your tribe? Obviously, your brother is a part of your tribe. You mentioned in this previous answer about community, and yes, there's one community, but then you have your own internal community. How do you build your own specific tribe that actually grows with you? Even though you said, hey, my brother went this way, I went this way, still we're connected. And that's what tribe is. How did you find your tribe?
Man, that's such a great question. And I love the word tribe because that is what this is. We are a tribe, particularly us little troubadours in the arts trying to make business out of it. We're tribal type people. I can make this really straightforward. Honestly, the single word is kindness. Kindness is what brings a tribe together. And recognizing kindness in others and that they recognize it in you is everything. My brother is uniquely kind young man. I don't know if I've met anyone more generous with their spirit and their soul than my brother. And it's reflected in his work as an artist, as a creator. He's as good as it gets or has ever been because of his willingness to be kind to others. So I would advise people looking for their tribe to define for themselves kindness and realize that that is the commodity. It's not money. It's not awards. It's not how you look. It's really your actions, your choices and sacrifices, and how much they reflect a selflessness within a community. And so find yourself in a community where you can identify other people's selfless acts and then contribute your own and just let it go wherever it goes. It might have intended to be a movie community, but it might end up being something different. Whatever that result is was not actually why you got involved. You got involved to wake up and have a human interaction that was meaningful. And without that, waking up without that for another purpose is not a tribe and is hard to be fulfilling.
As a troubadour, as an artist in yourself, and obviously, yeah, you're making so much amazing community-driven content. If this is your voice now, which is awesome, where is your voice evolving to?
I would love for my voice to evolve to where, like Warren Buffett, where you've got everything, and by the time you're done, you've given it all away.
Kip, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is an honor. It is a privilege to talk with you, to know you. This second episode, the second time you were on, you said yes in a heartbeat. And we are so grateful. We are so grateful that you had a great time the first time around Restaurant Fiction and the second time. And whatever the third time, if, whatever becomes of Restaurant Fiction, you are welcome back all of the time. Anyway, yes, see The Last Rodeo. Yes, see all of Kip's work. He has tons and tons and tons. But more importantly, listen to his first episode. He produced this legendary HBO film called Miss Evers' Boys. It was in the mid to late 90s. It earned a plethora of awards with Lawrence Fishburne. Anyway, the episode, he talks about his story of how he even broke into the business, which involved sharks, it involved surfing, and it involved Warren Miller and a photographer or a producer there. Every single aspect of his life, it's almost like this epic big fish tale, but it's real and it's fantastic. And just by you listening to this episode and the first episode with Kip, you're going to vibe on a different vibration of positivity, of abundance. And he's not even trying to preach. He's not even trying. He's just being himself, and you feel that. So anyway, we feel it. We're still feeling it. So yeah, that's called Going Out on a High Note. And Kip, you helped us go out on a high note. Well, anyway, this is Restaurant Fiction. Please, we're going to leave our episodes up for the end of time until iTunes or YouTube, something happens to those. But yeah, we're not taking them down, so they're there. So please listen to them. Please rewatch. And yeah, if you like an episode, dislike an episode, Monis at restaurantfiction.com. That's where you find me. All right. As always, keep it real, keep it fresh, and keep it on the flip side.